Hi, this is intended to be a quick instructional video for those of you who are interested in using Lightworks. Um, uh, and I'm doing this mostly because not only the tutorials on Lightworks website are outstanding and very complete, but for me, who's doing these to do a little bit of editing, nothing professional, this is a kind of a Cliff Notes version of how to get started in Lightworks. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is we'll create a new project here, and um, we'll just call it video learning. You want to set the frame rate to auto. There's always that, and then hit create. Now, the first thing it's going to want you to do is ask to import what files. What files do you want to import? And so I've been doing a lot of gameplay videos. So that's what we'll look for here. And let me grab one that is still not edited. Well, we're going to go up, actually. We're going to go out of the Tracks and Sector Warcast stuff, and we're going to go to, yeah. So this is what a raw video file will look like coming off a camera. You want to see it has near 30 frames per second. That's good. So you can really only you can import it from one place, one folder, and that's fine. You don't have to grab them all. But you import. It takes a moment to import, but you want to use other things. Like in my case, I want to use an intro video. So I'm gonna import clips from files. So I'm gonna this button opens up that choice again. So I'm picking the files I want to use. That's what I'm doing here. And we'll go to we'll go to Documents, and then we'll go to this is Tracks and Sector Warcast is where I do most of my videos. Okay, so I have I have intro music. I have a title intro and closing movies. Okay, so here's my opening slide. Here's my closing credits. I choose both those by just click and then control click, and I import. Okay, so since this opening slide is going to be my first slide, I'm going to double click on it. It's going to open up. Now it's got this blue ring around it, which means it's kind of viewing, not editing, but viewing. So in order to start editing it, I replace into the target edit. Well, there's no target edit right now, so it's going to become editable. Okay, the red box around this shows that I can edit it. I'm going to go here, close the unedited version, and this is my timeline. Okay, with a video channel and 2 audio channels, and this is my video. Okay, now I can manipulate this however I like. I can hit play and see what it does. Okay, and as you see, this is the marker going across, and then we're there. Now, for whatever reason, when I made that slide in Movie Maker, it recorded just an extra clip, and you can see that here. I'm going to get rid of it. This jumps back to the next event. So it jumps back to the beginning here, or to this one. Now, these are markers. You mark this part at the current position. You add a mark at the current position. Then I'm going to jump to the next one, which is the end, and that defines the gap. Now I could hit add an out mark at the current position, or because I'm already there, I could delete the mark section and close the gap. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's going to delete that fraction of a second that's extra, okay, between the opening slide audio and the opening slide video. And it's just you want to have this clean like this, at least I do, okay? So then you've got your opening slide, you've got your set, you've got this set at the next, you can nudge back 1 frame, nudge forward 1 frame, but we want it there, and you'll see why. Because I open up this, okay, again, it's blue. Now if I want to add this to this timeline, then I say what? I say insert into the target edit. Bammo. Okay. Now I close this. This is now video learning. Okay. We'll say tutorial. Okay. So you can rename it if you like. You don't have to. So now we have a 50-minute video of with 7 seconds of forecast of this title slide. So about the 7-second mark, it's put right on over. And you hear the audio. There's no audio.
I should see that coming too.
So now, in order to get more detailed, you can zoom in on this timeline. Okay. The big thing that I do with these tutorials is with these videos is I add a little bit of effect, some names, I add some scoring mechanisms, so on and so forth. And that's usually done by effects. So what I'm going to do is I want to start this effect first. The first effect I want to introduce is a dissolve. So you go to effects. I have a video of favorite effects. So dissolve is one of them. I will show you how, and then I say 60 frames. I usually go to 90 frames. That makes it a little bit softer dissolve. I say add. Okay, and the dissolve only affects the video channel, the video stream. Okay, and then once you have that dissolve up there, you see it reflected in the timeline here. Okay, now there's this stuff quickly stacks up. I can close this. In order to open it again, I browse the project contents. There they are. If I want to add something to this, there's another slide that I want, I'm going to hit this and select another file. Okay, if I want to add another video, my closing credits is already in here, but say I forgot to do that, I could go and pull my closing credits into the project. Okay, so that's browse project contents. Okay, import clips from files. I haven't used this create a new edit yet. Okay. So one of the best things about Lightworks is that once you spend the time setting it up, like I've done here with favorites, okay, then I can identify things. I have things in favorites, but not only do I have things in favorites, it has all these special effects. I have one for the Texas Sector Warcast. I have one for Colorado Netrunner. So let's go to Colorado Netrunner, names and banners. It's right there. So I'm going to go to the next. I don't want to insert this effect yet. I want to go to the next spot so that the effect comes in when we go to the live gameplay shot. So then I hit add there, and it adds this. Now here's the left player. This is a saved template of effect, right? So I've added, and this is a what is that? That's titles. Okay, this is a title that I added, left player, title that I added, right player. I specified what fonts I used. I specified where I wanted it, what the color of the font was. I added a plate, which is actually just an image crawl, just an image mask. Is it matte? Yeah, it's an image mat. Okay, and so, oh no, wait. A mask, I think. Nope. Mix. I always forget where this one is. I've already put it in. I've already put it in my favorites, so it's not coming out of my favorites. I don't ever have to go anywhere else to find it. Image key under video keying, image key. That's what it's in the favorites. Okay, So that's where that is, and that's how. And then I added the Colorado Netrunner plate here. So left player, right player, and then blend is something that comes with it, so I can identify the opacity of any one of these items. Okay, and I have it set to being in front, and the opacity at 100%. Okay. Now, you have Tobin, Sonny LeBeau. As you can see that it's on screen here. Okay. The font I chose was Bank Gothic Maryland. Okay. You can load any font that's on your system will be available to you. The ones that I use Bank Gothic MDBT for Netrunner, and I use Coalition for Traction Sector Warcast. The size is 0.08 because that's what I think a good size is. The face, color one. This is color one is white, black. These follow the usual color things. You can choose this and then choose a color, or set your RGB matrix. You can make it sheen. You can make it like that, or flat color. I like the gradient. Position. You can adjust the position. You can also just type this in if once you find out what you like. Oh, not 92. And then the Y position the X position is 1. So the X position, so that's for the nameplate here for Tobin. Okay, I don't have any shadow. I don't have any outline. Oh, maybe the outline is enabled. No, it is not. Okay. So here's where you choose your font. Okay. So there's all this. There's Coalition. Okay. And sometimes when you do this, it does take a while to come up. So there's the Coalition font. Okay. Right player, it's the same stuff. Okay. I've chosen different colors. I have slightly different settings. Okay. 99 and 92 because this is a gradient. So this is the 0, mark. Okay, and then this is and the X. So if I go to 1, I go to the other side. Okay, and I'm setting the anchor point. The anchor point is different, right? So the anchor point in this case is on the right. The anchor point in the other case here is on the left. And all you have to do to change the stuff is to type this in, right? Not too difficult. Okay. Colorado nameplate. Now, here's the Colorado nameplate that I use. I put it at 30% its size. I can increase the size if I want. Okay, and I actually probably will because it's pretty small. But if you want to choose a different one, all you have to do is just find go to select an image, just in a typical file selection type of way. Okay, this is HP, this is downloads. I can go to up, documents. I can choose anything I want, right? A bad publicity. I can put a bad publicity marker in the middle of my thing. Now, it's very small, right, relative to the thing, but then I can put it wherever I want to, right? And that's the Y, that's the X scale, that's the Y scale. So that's the size. Position is here. I can put that anywhere. Okay. You can put custom images. So I have right player, I have agenda points here for right player and left player. Okay, so that now for the right, since this is right player, I want to put it over there, right? I think it's going to be, yeah, 96. That seems like a good place. 0.95, right? And so that's how you add now it got rid of a nameplate, right? So I'm using this in place of an image key that I have for the agenda points. Okay, so if you'll notice, the effects are reflected here. Now, when you want to go to a place, okay, so say something in the game state changed, somebody scored a point. So, and that happened, let's say, at this point here. Okay. Now, notice I haven't even started the game, so I can get rid of some of this stuff if I want to. I don't have to make my viewer watch all this setup. So if that's the case, and that is the case, I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to mark this stuff, and then I'm going to use my router. Oh wow, I went way too far ahead. But I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to say, okay. Oh, if I want to clear the marks just to save myself some time. There we go. Okay, so I have a mark. I'm going to move forward. Move forward. I'm clicking and dragging here. That's all I'm doing. Right. And Jason just took his turn. So we'll back up and we'll say, okay, I took my cards. And then we're going to remove all that. And now, as you can see, we're back to the beginning. Right? So resolve is on. Now what you do, see there's this audio cut here? What you might do is do that editing before you add resolve.
All right. Are you going?
Yeah, go ahead now. Jason's going to go ahead and take his turn. So something changes in the game state. Hit stop. The way you make a clip is you just hit stop, and wherever you are, you hit the delete key, and that causes a clip to be created between these two things. Now notice that the effects that were in place with this clip before it was cut are in place with the second clip, with the progressive clip or subsequent clip. Okay, so nothing has changed. So what you can do here is, oh, I need to add, Tobin needs to get some points, so I need to add an effect. So I push the effect button. I go to A&R. I'm actually going to go to favorites, choose an image key, add. Image gets added. I choose a file. I say, oh, this is right player, so I want left player.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
$40.
Woohoo!
I bought 3 Christmas filler stuff. 3
So then we have, I have the image key. I've selected it. I've added it. I select my image. It gets added to the center there, and then I can. I'm not going to change the scale. I'm going to change the position. So I'm going to drag it over here, and I think I liked it at 0.02, and then this was, oh, 0.02 was too close. 0.03. There we go. That's better. And then this is like 0.94. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Or you know, if you want to go higher, you can go 0.96. Okay. Depends on the size of your graphic, really. And then you have your image there. Now these are all the special effects that are in play. If you want to turn off a special effect for a particular key, it's easy as, so this Colorado Netrunner plate is actually this agenda point. So if I just do this, I turn it off. Now it's not turned off here. If I go here, I see that it's there, and the other one is off. But I come here, and that effect is come back. So I can toggle that on and off. That can be very helpful. So, and then you just kind of go forward from there. At your edit points, you want to add an image, you want to do something like that. If you want to get rid of the audio, you can just delete these audio files. Okay. If you want to add commentary, you can delete these audio files, and then, or sorry, audio tracks, and then you can add tracks. Video track, audio track. Usually you add 2, okay, right? And there you are. And so if you want to record commentary, you can record commentary with Audacity or any other audio program, and you can cut and paste into here. Okay, you can cut and paste. So it's fairly easy to do. What I recommend doing, the low-tech way of to getting the audio and the visual right is, or the video with the commentary, is edit the video how you want it edited. Get the final edits for the video, okay? And then watch the video in Lightworks while you're recording behind Lightworks in Audacity. That's how I do it. I record in Audacity and I just speak to the computer and I comment to what I'm seeing on the screen, and then it's perfectly in time. You know, it's now, then I maybe have to cut and edit a little bit on the audio, but if you know Audacity, and Audacity is actually very straightforward to use, you can use Audacity and just cut and paste the Audacity audio files, or you can export the MP3 from Audacity and then import it into these tracks. And that's basically it. So once you've got, so let's say you've got a finished product and you've got your video recorded, and so I want to add one more closing, not select files to import. I want to see the project files. So then the closing credits, I double click, I insert into the target edit, I come, so then so that took a sec. Remember this, you can't edit the blue stuff. So I go back. I want to add a dissolve effect, which is in my favorites. Now the favorites, I didn't go over how to identify something as a favorite. It seemed fairly explicit, but you just toggle this star on and off. Okay. Oh, so I want to hit that. Favorites. My dissolve is there. And I say add. Okay, and then we go to this point and we see and stop. Okay. And it dissolves into my 14-second closing credits. The closing credit, these closing movies I use Movie Maker to create is easy enough. It's just an image with a title attached. That seemed the easiest way for me to create those. I don't know how to create original content in Lightworks other than adding the effects. Okay, so you've got your finished product. You're ready to go. Notice there's no effects here in this list because there's no effects on this slide. So if you go here, you'll see the effects come back. Okay, so make sure you're in the right spot on the timeline to see what effects you want to see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that. We'll close this. This is everything that it's in your project. Close that. Now you want to render this. Okay. So that you can export it and upload it to YouTube. You export edits, clips, or bins. You export video tutorial, 30 frames per second, size 720p. If you want to upload it directly to YouTube, I do not recommend doing that because it takes a long time to render and it takes a long time to upload. So having it render it first, then upload it. Keep things simple, okay? And then you can identify the destination folder, and then you can name the file that you want, okay? And you do that, and then a small progress bar will appear here. An hour's video takes anywhere between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to render, depending on what kind of, at least I think, depending on what kind of effects you have in place. Okay, a half hour one might only take 1:15 to 1.5 hours. Okay, and I hope that helps. Okay, and that's all I got.